What is going on, guys? Life as a home dealer. Now, basically, I wasn't going to make a video this week because this week has been hell. And even before getting in front of the camera right now on Sunday afternoon, I was just like, is there even any point? This week has just been awful. Getting straight to it. We lost money in November. We are down for the month. After such hard work, I put on the screen where we were at. We were doing really well. And now we have finished this month £400 odd minus. Now, we took some time off to go to Wales. If you saw last week's video, I was up in Wales. Things were good. It was Jess's birthday. And everybody wished her a happy birthday. But what you guys won't have known, what happened just a few hours after that video went live, the baby had a seizure in the back of the car. It is the most scariest thing that has ever happened to me in my life. She was a bit warm. We stopped at the co-op to get her some medicine. I've opened the back door and she's just having convulsions and seizures in the back of the car. Jess is first aid trained. She's really good at that sort of stuff. So she got the baby out, put her in a position. I called 911. They told us it's going to be 3 to 6 hours. So we just strapped Jess in and just went for the hospital. Got there, got the baby out. She was all limp. It was traumatic. It was horrific. And it was... The girls were in the back crying. I then had to take Jess off, drop her off at the A&E. Take the girls to Jess's aunties. They're screaming, crying. They didn't want to go. And it was a lot. And we were in the hospital until about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. This was Jess on her birthday. And yeah, it was nasty. I wouldn't wish it. I don't hate anybody, but if I hated somebody, I wouldn't even wish that on them, because it was just, I've got a tear on my eye just thinking about how bad that was. Now, from there, the baby, they're checking her over, they do loads of tests. We're in there for about 8 hours. They say, obviously, you need to bring her back on Monday and get her fully checked over again. She seems all right now, but we need another checkup. But we said, we're from Bournemouth, we're going home tomorrow. What do you advise? They said, no, she'll be fine, but just take this note, and when you get home, go to your doctor's first thing and get it checked. So we're like, okay, temperature's down. That night, I slept in the same room as the baby, just watching her. And then it was time to come home. Now, things just got worse. Things got worse again. The car decided it didn't want to play ball. So we're leaving Wales. The baby, we've given her medicine, we've checked her temps, and Jess is sitting next to the baby in the back. And we've got a 3-hour drive home. It should have took 2 hours and 40 minutes to get from Wales back to Bournemouth. We leave, we get across the bridge, and the M4 is closed because of an accident or something. So we come off. We go down the M5. We're just outside of Taunton. I think it's like Bridport. We're at Bridport. 70 miles an hour in the fast lane. Car dies. The Kia Sorento. All power lost. Fast lane. Managed to get across. Thank God there was a lorry that kind of knew what he was doing and backed out and let us get onto the hard shoulder. Got to the services. I've got nothing with me. We're not expecting the car to do this. I'm checking over the car. The engine's running fine. There's no hissing. There's no boost pipes come off. It's going through the gears because you can manually do it. And I'm trying to figure out what to do. And I make the decision that the best choice with the sick baby is try and get from Bridport, where we are, to Yeovil, and get Jess's dad to go from Dorchester, like Bournemouth, to us. It's an hour. We are 2 hours away from Bournemouth, but if we meet in the middle, that's the best thing to get the baby home so she can be comfortable, she can be checked, she can have her medicine. So we took these 30-mile-an-hour roads, and when you got to a hill, the car was dying off, and I managed to figure out a way to keep the car off boost. And I basically was figuring out that we've got no turbo. If you keep the car off boost, it wouldn't choke itself, and we can get back. So we cancelled her dad and just went for it. It took us about 3 hours. Slow and steady. I'd never been more stressed driving a car. I've got the baby in the back. I've got the kids. I have got AA cover on the car. I could have just pulled over, called the AA, but they would have just recovered the car and we would have had to wait longer than the time that we waited, I believe. So we got the car back and now we are Sunday night. I'm overtired. Me and Jess have not slept maybe like 4 hours at this point. And we're just like, oh, get the baby to bed, give her a medicine. She's still not feeling it and fighting us all the way. It's literally what she was like. Just not feeling anything. And just a quick interruption to let you guys know about Dealermetrics' latest software. So we already use the buying software, and the AI software helps you buy cars privately. So anytime a car is listed on Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, eBay, or Auto Trader that meets your search criteria, you get a Telegram message. Cars come through, they look like this, and then you can contact the seller and arrange a viewing. But in that software, there's pricing. You can kind of build a picture of the car using the Dealermetrics app. But what they've done, if you've already found a car and it's privately and you want to run it through, they now do a data checker. So that will just check that it's not stolen, it's not scrapped, and it's not recorded as a category car, because you don't want to buy one of those. And then it also checks the owners. Now, I never buy a car that has been owned for less than a year. It's just my rule. Why would you sell a car after a year of buying it? Doesn't look good when you're trying to retail it. In all of my adverts, I will say, like the Panda, he's owned it for 7 years. He's done 25,000 miles. And the reason for selling is he's gone for a Skoda Yeti. It's easier for him to get in and out of. So in my description, that's what it reads, and it gives people assurance. So I never buy a car that has been owned for less than a year. I ran my cars, and this is what it looked like. So the BMW passed. Thank you. Does have 8 owners, but it's not recorded as stolen, scrapped, written off. And then what I did notice is it wouldn't tell me how long the current owner had it. So I ran the Kia. That's what this one looked like. And then I ran the TT. And the reason why it didn't have that information was because they're all in trade registered to me. And that's where I thought, that's even better, because now when I'm looking at cars privately, I can either see how long they've had it for, less than a year, I'm not interested, but I can also see if it's registered in trade. So when somebody's trying to sell you a car privately, now I have a friend who sells cars privately, but they're all in trade and they're at decent prices because he gets them cheap. And then he just trades them for a few £100 more, but doesn't warranty them or anything like this. Whereas you would now know that he was a private seller, but he was a dealer. See, it's quite good. So if you guys are interested in having a look at that software, the link is in the description. The buying software, they're running a free trial on that at the moment. And then the data check, it's a new subscription-based service. Links are in the description. Go check them out. Let's carry on with how Monday went. Monday comes around. Now Jess has got one job this week, and that's to take care of the baby. So got to do the school run, go straight to the doctors, get the Kia, scan it. There's no codes in the Kia, but thank God we had the Panda that we bought before we went on holiday. So I'm using the Panda. We're running around in that. Like, things are all right. We're gonna survive. We've got a Panda, taxed it. That's on road, and we need to figure out what's going on with the Kia and get the baby another inspection. The baby is not a car. The baby another checkup. So I go to the doctors. They said, bring her right in now. So come home, get the baby, take her there. They do full obs, check over her, everything. They're like, no, she seems fine. We think it's just a virus. We'll send off to a specialist, but bear with it. If the baby's still, if you're still having to control the baby's temperature by Wednesday, we want her back in and we'll check some more. So, okay, baby's doing all right. That's the main thing. I don't care about the Kia. I don't care about anything else. Just, is the baby okay? Then the dealership, obviously at this point, I call them and say, like, I'm back. I'm available to do work. Just bear with me. And they're like, oh, we've only got 2 or 3 cars. And I'm thinking, we got to fix a Kia that was unexpected. Are we going to have money? Bob hopped into the dealership. They said we've got no work for next week either. So now I'm thinking, I got £300 coming in. what do I do here? I'm stressing, and I'm thinking, okay, so I take the car to the workshop. They do some tests, and basically when they plug the Kia in on the scanner and try and do a wastegate movement, doesn't work. So we now know that it's the wastegate on the turbo. On these newer cars, there's a control module that controls the wastegate. It's not done off of engine pressure or vacuum. So we put the call in. It's £398 plus fit the thing. Got to be done. We need the car. We need to get it done. So now I'm driving back in the Kia broken. We've ordered the part, and I'm thinking, Jess, this is too much. The baby's not well. The Kia's going to cost. We've got no work. We're 3 weeks away from Christmas. We can't sell the Panda even if I wanted to, because this is the car we're driving until we can get the Kia fixed. And just, it's just stress. And I'm at this point, I could have filmed some of this, but I'm just really not in the right headspace at all. So then drop the Kia off to the workshop, leave it with them, and they also dropped the BMW off. So the BMW becomes more of a headache, and I will explain in a second. Let's wrap these first bits up. The baby by Wednesday was starting to be better, and then this is her on Thursday.
What you doing?
She's up, she's happy, she's playing. Baby's good. That's it. Kia. Sensor arrives. Stick the sensor on, and I get a lovely bill, £517. Okay. Kia's done. Back on the road. There. We get an inquiry come through on the Panda. Okay. I lowered the price on the Panda to 3,295. Like, I need to sell it. And now I'm thinking I need to just maybe sell the BMW. If I sell the BMW for £2,500, we've already put it in for the provisional MOT, so I know what it needs to get an MOT. Maybe I can stick it up for sale, get some quick cash, pays for the Kia, pays for Christmas, and we'll just address this next year in January, because, you know, we don't want to work over Christmas. We want to spend time as a family, and especially after Jess's weekend was ruined, we definitely want to spend some good time having fun. So I said, okay, or do I get this stuff done on the BMW and try and get an MOT on it? So I said, let's do it. Let's get the BMW over to the workshop and let's give them the list and get that done. So we had the list, and then the BMW. Now, the BMW. Here's a picture of the BMW dropped off at the workshop. Drove over there perfectly fine. We got the engine management light on, and the rear brakes are a little bit creaky, not creaky, but noisy. And we had the list, and the list was to get failures was the engine management light and the parking brake inefficiency. And then we had some advisories for tyres, bushes, exhaust hanger. But basically, I was like, let's see if we can just get this done. So I dropped out for the workshop, and they did everything on the car, and I got a lovely bill for £1,105. Now that's not the end of the world, because we knew that we were going to have to spend a lot of money on the BMW, but we bought it so cheap. So the BMW's trade value is £5,000, retail value is somewhere about £7,000, and I paid £1,000 plus I'm in it maybe 500 quid. So I'm in it 1,500. Now with this 2,600 for a car that trade value is 5,000, but we've done all the bits that need to be done. So they've done the rear bush on the back, that was 25 quid, engine oil 60, oil filter £11. Now the oil filter, the guy that I bought the car off is not a car guy. Yes, it's a 335i, yes, it's 400 horsepower, yes, it's a fast car, but he wasn't really into his cars, he just liked it. And he never serviced it. And I don't know how long it went without being serviced, but this oil filter, which is on the screen, had collapsed. And basically, the workshop said, if I would have give that the beans, if I would have kept driving it, if I would have done, at any point, that could have starved the engine of oil engine gone. And if anybody knows these 335i engines, they sell for like $3,000. They put them in drift cars. The engine is worth more than the car, because that's the valuable part of this. You can go and buy a 3.2i convertible for 1,600 quid. They're everywhere. So yeah, I was not overly joyed, but we knew that was coming. Oil filter nearly killed the car. Then I was like, do the spark plugs as well. So we've done the spark plugs, we've done the oil filter, we've done the pollen filter. Let's change, do a full service. Pull the spark plugs out. 5 of them were incorrect. They were from a 2-litre petrol, and they looked like this. They were just not the correct spark plug, not been changed. And the ones from the 335i were a completely different shape, different firing pin, just completely different. So yeah, BMW wasn't running properly, has never been running properly, and again, that could have caused damage because it was running so rich, better rich than lean. It was overfueling, meaning it wasn't running properly, and that could be why the sensor in the exhaust was not happy, because the fuel mix was all over the place. Because of the spark plugs, the oil pressure was bad. Okay, we knew these things on a car like this. You buy it cheap, you buy it with not checking it, could happen. So we got spark plugs changed, and then we took it out for a run. But before we did that, we did rear discs, rear pads, rear brake shoes, rear fitting kit, 2 new tyres. It now has 9 kangs on the back. They were too bold. I didn't want to get cheap tyres. It's got 400 horsepower. Never cheap out on ditch finders, because you'll put yourself in danger. And what else? Fitting and balancing tyres, brake wear sensor, and £350 labour to do all of that work. So on the list of jobs to get done, we're still not there. We still have a few issues. Now, the ones that are not ticked off, subframe components covered in underseal, I can tick that because I'm not going to do anything about it. Exhaust is noisy, it's straight piped, there's not a lot I can do about that. So there's only 2 jobs left to do. Now we've got the handbrake done because of the rear discs, pad, shoes, the whole rear brakes were replaced. Is just the engine management light. Now, we took the car out and did some logging to see what it would do. So it looks a bit like this. Listen to this thing. But we found a new problem. Because it's that week. That's my week. The car. I've never really drove this car like hard or pushed it. But every time, if you give it full beans like we were just a second ago, the car is so happy and it will go through the rev range. And we must have done maybe 10, 11, 12 pulls back to back, pushing the car. And every time it liked it. But if you were in 3rd, 4th, 2nd and slowly build the revs up, it would develop a misfire on cylinder 3, and we can clear that. We could push it again, no problem. But if we went to 3rd and slowly built the revs round, it would 3rd gear would have a misfire. So we've ordered a coil packs to replace on 3 and 4. Hopefully that fixes that problem. With the misfire, we're going to have to retest that next week. And the sensor, the Lambert sensor, bank 102 sensor, heater circuit, the sensor's reading correctly. It passes the emissions, so maybe it's just a fault with the sensor. So we've got another one of those coming in next week. So the 1,150 is not the full final bill being paid, but it should get us a step closer to being able to sell that car. But that's where things start to get a bit better, because the BMW, to have it roaring and being alive and doing pulls in it, and knowing it's healthy, and knowing the logs on boost pressure, because he was checking everything as I was driving it, it's good. The engine is healthy, it's pulling strong, there's no issues with anything other than a coil pack and a sensor. BM's good. Okay, got it back, now back outside. Need to change a bulb myself, and that's ready to go. Kia's back. It's disgustingly dirty. Next week I'm going to clean it, but we're slowly winding down for Christmas. So I'll have time over Christmas to clean that properly. The viewing. So we got to work and we started doing cars for the dealership. They took forever. They had some cancel. So basically I had one car. I got that done early. I think it was on like Tuesday, Wednesday. Out of the way. Simple. 4 or 5 hours. Then I had a Clio. And this Clio was absolutely battered. And I spent about 9 hours and I still wasn't happy with it. You had nail varnish on the back seat. I cannot get that to come out. So if you guys have got any advice for nail varnish, I've tried the Prep Sol, I've tried TARDIS, I've tried panel wipe, I tried wet waxing, I tried nail polish remover. But yeah, I tried scratching it, scraping it. Hours and hours of drilling it, won't come out. So lost there. Then the screen had all of the paint chipping away from it. So I had to then sit for hours and peel off all of the paint. And that car was finally done. £120, less than minimum wage. Like, this week is just the week. But we move forward. We just keep going. Can't get worse, can it? Then I had an X-Trail in. 7-seater X-Trail. Took longer than we wanted. But it was what it was. And now on Sunday, it's the afternoon and I've still got a S-Max that I've just pulled in that is absolutely hanging, which I'll probably just make a Wednesday video on because this video is just me crying at a camera, and that's okay. We have these weeks. In all of this, I'm trying to get the girls happy and motivated. So we put out some Christmas decorations so they look obviously like this, trying to make the house Christmassy, trying to get the girls ready and excited. So that was quite nice to try, and we're taking these L's, but rather than let the girls see that we're not happy and we're down and we're stressed and we're frustrated and we're losing, we go the other way and we say, let's do some Christmas decorations, let's focus on the positives. So that was quite nice. We're very Christmassy here now. And Saturday came around, it was yesterday. Guy turned up for the Panda. Wonderful guy, really nice guy. Turned up in a Maserati, all custom, really nice car. They work as specialists doing Fiat parts and fixing them up. And they wanted a car for their mum for Christmas, and they bought it. I didn't get a chance to do the tyres, I didn't get a chance to do the service. I did obviously late into the night wet vax it all up and make sure it was nice. I polished the headlights, so it was in good condition. It was a lovely car anyway. And yeah, they bought that 3-1, £800 margin. I had the car for 8 days and I didn't do any work to it. Made 800 quid, which paid the money back for the Kia. We still managed to lose this month by £400, but it could have been worse. It could have been worse. So yeah, we started last Sunday. Well, I started last Saturday night, and it was horrific. We're a week on. The baby's up. She's fiddling again, and she's back to being wonderfully in everything. Car sold. We're down for the month, but we're not out. So now it's time to get another car. So I'm going to be on the Dealermetrics app this evening and tomorrow. And I'm not going to rush. I'm going to really, like with the Panda, it took me 2 weeks to find that car. But it sold in 8 days. It was the right car. And it sold easy, stress-free. So we'll find another one like that. Hopefully one comes up on the Dealermetrics over Christmas, over the next few weeks. I want to get a car quite soon. The BMW sensor is coming in next week. We'll get that on and we can get that in for an MOT. And I can get that up for sale. I doubt that I'll sell it before Christmas. But if we can get an MOT on it, we can get it ready to go. It's ready to go. That can go. Kia is fixed. I'm going to go and clean a car. And yeah, not an amazing video. I understand that. But what a week, eh? What a week. But we move. And time to find another car. I'll see you next week at 6:30. It's a quick one. But yeah, stress.